Alright guys, it's JB. Today I'm doing part 2 of my group of videos that I'm going to do. I don't know how many I'm going to do, so yeah, I'm going to do the bass today, typical dubstep bass, but I'm not just going to do a Reese bass because you'll figure that out by yourself. I'm going to go over how to make a moving bass, like something that keeps the ear interested, not just like a sine wave. So it's to do with FM synthesis, and this bass has literally taken me 5 minutes. Put it into context here with a bit of a little tune around it, so we'll bring it up. Right, so what you need to do is, in my other video, if you've been following me, my wobble bass tutorial, there's a blank patch, so it's in the description. Download that, and then yeah. So load that up, and I've literally just made this. So we'll start here. These are the oscillators, so this is what makes you sound. Right, I had all these turned off, so just turn that down. Distortion off. So anyway, it should be something like that. I mean, I've changed that down. Right. That's basically a blank patch. I've got my filter set up. Start out at 1, put it down to FM. If you don't know what that means, it means frequency modulation. It's a type of synthesis, but this is subtractive synthesis, where you make a sound and you take away. FM synthesis is a whole other thing, like another way to make a sound. Like what it does is, you see this oscillator, it looks at the pitch of that. It's really complicated maths, but it looks at the pitch and it makes the pitch of oscillator 2 relative to that pitch. It moves them really quick, so you get a really wide bassy sound. So if you imagine you've turned an LFO all the way up, so that it's not just wow wow, it becomes like wow wow wow, wow, you know. Sorry. Becomes a whole other tone. It registers, but it's a thicker tone because obviously it's taking up the entire spectrum of sound because it's everywhere in half a second. So put that to FM, and you can't tell because there's nothing on. Got the glide up. But if we put 2 in, right, I've put 12 above, like, see how that's giving it movement, and if the higher up you go, the faster it'll get. It's almost done now. If yours doesn't sound like that now, don't worry, because I've still got all my EQ on it and whatnot. Should I take it off? Sounding pretty weak there. Right, so you got oscillator 1 modulating oscillator 2. So we've got 1 at its normal starting position, 2, 12 above. It's detuned by 24 cents. Just semitones is like, you know, a key, like from white to black, whatever. A semitone is within that. So you can make something sound really wide by, say if you had all these 3 playing the same note, you could make it really wide by just changing the semitones. Oh, like, that's how people come up with really thick sounding sounds, and obviously panning and stuff. I'm not going to do about that properly now, but I've put that minus 24, and the bottom one, if you can see, I've not turned it on, but it's plus 27. So that, if you imagine you've got your main first synthesizer here, you've got both are like next to it, so it comes through thicker. If that made sense. Right, anyway, you've got this. It's alright. Turn down 1 to minus 12, so that you need bass, so. That's already sounding good, but remember I've got all the filter and everything. So you've got them 2. Add a bit of 3. 3, it doesn't matter because FM synthesis isn't applied to 3. So 3, I've just put a little saw wave to give it some flavour. See? So yeah, that's already sounding good. Right, now you've got this, turn your glide up, because it's just preference, turn it down if you want, but it makes the end, like, listen more. I like glide, it's up to you, it's your music. So we've got all them on, and we'll go up here now. You want it in mono because it's a bass, so you want the most powerful tone coming through. And to make it wider again, the voices, you need 8. Well, I find 8's good, somewhere around there. And put them in unison, which means they're all at the same time and relative to each other, and you should get something that sounds like this. Just subtle nuances that's made it a bit wider, little, touches. Right, so we look at the filter. We've got parallel, obviously. Oh, I've got an itchy now. You want it fat? Click fat. I mean, we're trying to make a wide bass that takes up a lot of space in the bottom end, so. Right, I've got the cutoff around here, but I've got my controller controlling it down here, so that in the song I can automate it if I want it to come up and down, but about there, it's good. Oh my god. Yeah, little bit of the left one coming in as well with a low pass out. Right, I've only put the left one on a little bit so I can put the drive up, which gives it the really hard sound. Yeah, obviously 12 dB because you got a nice sweep on it. Blah, blah, blah. So this knob here, FM, is the amount of FM synthesis going to them. I find that about there is enough for this sound, so do it there, and it sounds shit. Thanks. It's great, it just makes great sound, so that seems to be taking up both speakers, so very, very wide bass. Yeah. Now distortion, dial in a tiny bit, just so you can see the orange, and that'll give it even more. It'll take away the predictableness, and it takes away a lot of the bass, yeah, but you can't beat that. I've got the tone quite dark because Brian just sounds shit, so. Okay, so that's the plugin. I've not routed it to anything. Obviously changed the attack a bit and the release, so it's not as predictable as just, I did dial in a bit of analog, but I've took it out. It's up to you. Right, that's alright. Good stuff. I've got the EQ. I've taken out all the low end to about 100 because in EXS24, if you don't load a sample, it'll just produce a sine wave, which is just bass, just one sine wave, which is you might be able to hear it. Well, that's your sub bass, and you in a club that'd fuck shit up. See, I've EQ'd this one relative as well, so the bass from here is coming there, and the grittiness is around here. Right, anyway, with the EQ, there was some stuff in the top register that let me find. Just like squeaky, horrible sound that makes me want to die. So I took that out. And yeah, just EQ'd it like that. I mean, you should know from my last videos. I sent it to my Camel Crusher bus, but it doesn't really sound any different, to be honest. I'm leaving it just in case it does, and so. Turn the volume down a bit. Seems to have gone a little bit messed up. That's right, that's right. That's the distortion. I'm taking it out. Yeah, so it's peaking wonderfully. This is in context with the song. Remember, I've just got it peaking because it's not one of my tracks, I'm not mixing it, so it's just to show that it can sound quite professional. I've just put this track together in 5 minutes. Got bit by some kind of flying animal on my arm, and it's got a horrific lump on it. I wasn't going for typical dubstep, more progressive. Like I could have just had a wobble from it, but you don't pay attention to the bass line. So yeah, that's your bass. And I know that you couldn't make a bass like that without using FM synthesis because all the plugins in Logic are pretty crap. I use third-party plugins, so I'll be the first to admit that, like Massive and stuff. Any of the sounds I've made, like the piano or anything, just that's just a modified preset. But yeah, just send us a message. If you thought this was helpful, subscribe, because I'm getting thousands of views now, but I've got about 25 subscribers, which is pretty depressing on the whole scale of things. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, otherwise probably gonna kill you. So yeah, once again, anything that you need help with, send me a message. Any other tutorials you want me to do, anything, like even if it's another part of the beat or a different bass. I mean, I've got other basses that I've made. Show you. Could do a tutorial on this I've made. It's actually the Reese bass that I said about. I think this was the one. Yep, but that's done, obviously. I'll be in 03. So yeah, message me or I'm gonna kill you in whatever it's called. Yeah, thank you. See you.